Hello, my name's John Teichman. Was in on the early part of the shootout. I actually got involved in '98, and I've been inducted into the Shootout Hall of Fame. How I got started with the shootout. Back in '98, I got a hold of the owner at the time, which was Carm Natoli, and it was he was getting rid of it, wanted it to sell it. So I talked to the man, and we come up to an agreement, and I ended up owning it and opening it in '99 and run it through 2007. So it's it's all, I was in on the early part of it. So yes, I do. I do have a favorite memory. The probably the highlight for me was when Augie Bush come in one Saturday night and said, "I want to talk to you about the shootout." Or he actually said shooter's shootout. And I said, "That's fine, I'm busy, but come back through the daytime." And I said, "Either send your guys or come back and we'll talk." So they come in, they said, "Augie wants to be involved in the shootout." I said, "First of all, it's not the shooter's shootout, it is actually the firefighter's shootout." But I said, "I can help you make contact." I said, "Well, we want to get involved." And I said, "That's good." I said, "I'm glad to hear that." But I said, "Let's set up a time and talk to the firefighters." So they did, and Augie Augie didn't, his corporate boys came in and said, Augie wants to be a sponsor. And I said, "Well, that's fine, but you're talking to the wrong guy." So I said, "Let's go talk to the firefighters." So we did, and at the time, the firefighters we don't need somebody in the shootout. I said, "Well, you got to understand, they don't want to be running the shootout. They want a sponsorship." So they were still very reluctant to get involved until Augie said he'd write him a check for $100,000 to sponsor the shootout. And on top of that, he would bring the Miss Budweiser boat and enter it into the shootout. So at that point, finally they, okay, we'll take your money. And in my opinion, that's what really was the turning point in the shootout, because up until that point, it was maybe a day-long race, day and a half. And every year after that, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think it's for the fact, and back then, the money was all raised for the firefighters. One of the first couple years, and then they kind of start splitting it off, and as more people got involved. So it's a very good charitable event. I mean, it helps a lot of people. I think, the biggest thing is it's been 14, 15 years since I basically tore down the building and got out. And for them to still think about that, I mean, it's a good feeling. Well, the current owner of the shooter's property actually called me and said, which is Sean O'Sullivan, and he's the one that has been building all those nice homes on the shooter property, called me and said, "Hey man, you're getting inducted into the Shootout Hall of Fame." And I said, "I'll be there."
Who would you thank?
I got you. Over the years, we had a lot of employees. I mean, when the first few years I had shooters, we employed like 150 people. So, and 99% of them were college kids. So by the time the shootout got here, they've all headed back to college. But every single year, they'd come back for the shootout. And believe me, we needed all of them, because, I think without them, it would have never happened. They come back, they were done a very good job.